The unpromising raised pupil returns.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female. Find out for yourself. And don't...
Interesting.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their...
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism.
Your silence betrays your inferiority. You do not have a reply. You should enter it deeper.
All I'm wondering, man.
Right to work! Right to work!
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Yeah? That giant up there on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you...
No! They will give up eventually.
A pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Béton. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the arm. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though. Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. Just a second. Sylvie... Yes. Oh, great. What else do you need, Detective? Well... You tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. Clogging it I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse.
You hear?
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. In the morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage cannot but catch your eye. Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admit. This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Canema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds and go on. The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin. Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR18GU engine on the old Caprice 40.
7.2. Supercharged. Yes, an extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yes.
And means no.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Looking for something to read. It is. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Well,
Where is this going, officer?
yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. No. Why are we still talking?
It's got to be something else then. Why else would you be asking her if it wasn't? Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug. For all the work, you step in and close your arms.
What is happening?
She seems to be confused. The situation is oddly intimate. Your cheek is pressed against her shoulder. Her hand is trapped between.
What are you doing, officer? Fighting for it how? Oh. I guess it's better than nothing. Keep fighting on, my fellow comrade. Is there anything else I can help you with?
The woman before you nods and returns.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
This coin-operated viewer is facing. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution to ruin in a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, you know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice. This coin, why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
There was a revitalization project in '49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick. They got as far as the street lamps and that statue on the intersection before something went sour. I suspect it was Erascles' doing. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. We should have done something about the Union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
We're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sink. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private matter. Nothing to do with it.
You see, officer,
René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or...
I'm fine, goddammit! Mind your own business! It's nothing. No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last...
Yes! It's...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? She is nobody. This is none of your concern. And
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. Of course, a radical centrist. In these bright and loud times where 1,000 free, it's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances in all of human history. Increment. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little speed. Speaking of, history's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above. You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. What rationality? What sang-froid? What a fucking joke. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capital. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. That's right. Remember, real democracy. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Trying to sneak up on me?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered...
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now.
Does anyone in a city like this? Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. But somehow... Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? This reality?
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
Are they now?
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. North of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the Reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds in... Yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities.
Caillou. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value, and to humanity at large.
Revachol? The great kind. History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed. In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about
A sparkle of lights on the horizon, like morning stars.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly. This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.